Time for the 49ers Rush Podcast.
One does not simply beat out Alex Barrett for a practice squad defensive end job. It's almost impossible to do. This guy has been with the 49ers practice squad for 4 consecutive seasons and counting. Now, he didn't get a lot of playing time, doesn't get called up too often. He's been in 9 career games over that span, not all with the 49ers. But this dude, again, there are just people that embody exactly what the 49ers want with locker room, with culture, with practice habits, and nobody embodies that more than Alex Barrett. Now, he wears number 58, sometimes 64. He bounces around, and he's released and brought back and released and brought back, but one can't simply quit. Alex Barrett, he's just a fun player. And preseason, he is a preseason maniac that just shows up everywhere, does everything that they want him to do. He's an undersized defensive end. Last year, they had him bulk up and play defensive tackle. Now they're moving him back to defensive end. And he's just the yes, sir, lunch pail type guy that constantly gives the 49ers offense quality looks against practice squad players. It's just what it is. Scout team. He's a scout team hero. Now, he comes in number 71 on the 2024 countdown. His highest rating or ranking this year was 62 by one ranker, and 76 was the lowest. So you've got a pretty wide variation, 62 to 76. Last year, came in 77, so he's bumped up a little bit. And the year before that, 63. So trying to find that middle ground. 63 2 years ago, last year 77, right in the middle, 71. Where's 58? 6'2", 250. There's 2 types of defensive ends the 49ers go after. Your huge run stuffers, and then there's your pass rush guys. He fits into that pass rush guy. He's 30 years old, which is just incredible with what he's been able to put together as far as just hanging around, right? Alligator blood. Ran a 4.97, good speed, undersized guy, 168 3-cone, great. 30-inch vertical, 21 bench press reps, all those things. Entering his 7th season. Undrafted free agent. He's just been incredible. He's from Mesa, Arizona, went to Desert Ridge High School, the Jaguars, just east of Phoenix, and then eventually went to San Diego State, the Aztecs. He graduated there with a social science degree, was a 2-star recruit. Now, a lot of that has to do with his build. You're limited by what God gave you sometimes, and the way that he's built, it lowers the ceiling. It's just the way that it goes. Now, you look at what he accomplished in high school and college, very impressive. Huge track and field guy. He was the MVP for his high school track in 2 different seasons, second in state in shot put, 2-time All-State selection in high school. He was the team captain. In college, he was a captain, first team All-District on both sides of the ball. He has 19 sacks, which ranks 4th in school history. Now, whenever he came out, Dane Brugler had him rated as the number 43 best defensive end in the 2017 draft. And this was the initial Kyle Shanahan, John Lynch draft. That's what it was. And whenever I say journeyman, listen to this career of him bouncing around. 2017 doesn't get drafted. He gets picked up by the Detroit Lions. Well, guess who was the Detroit Lions defensive line coach? Chris Kuceric. The relationships you build matter. And so Kuceric liked him enough in Detroit that once he landed in San Francisco, the first chance he got, he scooped him up. Now, he didn't have him right away. He was with Kuceric for a couple years in Detroit. Then he went to the Raiders with Mike Mayock, and John Gruden. Didn't stick around too long, got cut in September. Niners brought him over in 2019, and he's been here since. Now, he's been on and off the roster. He's had 40 career transactions. Elevated to practice squad, released, signed to practice squad, released, signed to practice squad, elevated 40 times. Now, if you look at his career numbers, at least in the preseason, which he's got a lot of preseason play, 47 overall grade, not good. 44 run defense grade, not good. 57.1 pass rush grade, that's pretty solid. Now, it is preseason, so competition goes into there. But he's the Dante Johnson. He's the Barnacle of the practice squad. Just hangs around. Now, he's been elevated for 9 games, 144 snaps over 7 years, and they're spread out pretty wide. He's got 6 tackles, 2 quarterback hits in those 9 games, 0 starts. Injuries never really a big deal for him, and he signed a vet minimum deal, $915,000, 0 guaranteed. Career earnings, $1.1 million. Not much for somebody that's played, going into his 9th season. He's 30 years old, barely passed, $1 million. This is why being drafted changes so much. Whenever you're an undrafted free agent and you just hang around, I'm not saying that's bad money. It's way more than I make. However, when you compare the other players that have played in the NFL for as long as he has, I mean, it's just incredible, the financial difference, right? So what's in store this year for Alex Barrett? The 49ers defensive end depth says more of the same. I think he's going to continue to be a practice squad guy. Will he make the initial 53? Almost 0% chance that happens. If he gets cut, is somebody going to scoop him up? Almost 0% that happens. I mean, it just doesn't happen. Ross Dwelly got cut how many times and then finally found a home, so there's a possibility. So I say 0, but we'll see. Now, the 49ers usually keep 6 or 5 defensive ends, okay? They've got 4 locks. Nicholas John Bosa, right? Leonard Floyd, Yetur Gross-Matos, Robert Beal Jr. Those are my 4 locks, which means there's 1 or 2 guys that can make this roster from this list. Drake Jackson, you want to put him in the lock category, cool. Austin Bryant, he's played a lot more. Alex Barrett, Sam Aquanu, and that's it. Like, the depth at the defensive end position is stout, 1 through 4, 1 through 5 maybe. But there's not a lot of back-end young depth that they are trying to bring into the defensive end room. Austin Bryant's long in the tooth. Alex Barrett's long in the tooth. Sam Aquano's been around for a while as well. There's no undrafted free agent defensive end. There's no draft pick defensive end. They didn't draft one or an undrafted free agent. So if there is a change that takes place, I think you'll see a vet that they bring in and sign. Would he take the place of Sam Aquanu? Would he take the place of Alex Barrett? Who knows? But the one thing that we know for sure, Kocurek loves him. And I would also argue Chris Forster loves him, the offensive line coach, because he probably spends more time with Chris Forster as a scout team defensive end against the ones. This is the dude going against Trent Williams. This is the dude going against Colton McKivitz week in and week out, giving those looks of the opposing team, and that is his value to the team. So he comes in number 71. Why? Not because he's going to make the 53-man roster, no, but because practice squad is important. The 49ers utilize it almost more than any other team and elevate more players from the practice squad than almost any other team. Alex Barrett's been a part of that for 4 years, and I expect that to go into year 5. So, Alex, I expect to be breaking you down again next year on the 2025 49ers countdown. But right now, you're at number 71, and excited to see you out there in training camp, my friend.